All right, so I have another video. So I watched this guy from Total Seal, and let me see if I can't go back. Total Seal piston rings. If you don't know who Total Seal piston rings, they are a performance piston ring manufacturer, and they actually test their products. So this is guy's called the Motor Oil Geek, and he is working with Valvoline, and they're designing piston rings for hydrogen engines. So anyway, Valvoline has come up with this oil, a full synthetic called Restore and Protect. So Valvoline is the only oil manufacturer that actually has an in-house testing facility and lab for engines, hardware, and equipment. So, and it's pretty impressive. And they've come up with an oil that can actually clean your engine, but they said it was too aggressive years ago. So what they're worried about is the oil filter not being able to handle that. So they had a product, and this guy who works for Total Seal used it and said that it does work, which I didn't know that. So I've learned something today. I've always used kerosene, transmission fluid, diesel fuel, motor flush, and had good success, but you're talking about a rapid rate of desludging the engine, and it could cause bigger problems. So depending on how bad it is, it could cause bigger problems. And I usually do it with old oil in a filter and run it in a short amount of time. But Valvoline is the only ones that the oil manufacturers that actually are testing engines, testing the pistons, testing the camshaft, testing the rings, testing for sludge. So they've come up with a new oil that doesn't have a rapid rate of cleansing, and I feel that this is probably the perfect oil for today's engines. It is the Valvoline Premium Full Synthetic Restore and Protect.
Up to 100% of piston deposits. That's a pretty incredible claim. Hi, I'm Lake, the motor.
So they showed the comparison after 4,000 miles of driving with this engine oil, and they use dirty engines, and they're simulating real world conditions, and especially in today's engines that are dirty engines, but they can run cleaner, and it has to do with the customer actually maintaining it and using the proper oil, which your manufacturer is not going to tell you to use the proper oil for your car to keep it clean. That's for sure. They're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you that it says 10,000 miles, but we want you to come back in 3,000 miles because we know your engine's going to fail at 30, 60, 90, 100,000 miles. And there's proof out there, and I've proved it. So for me, since I have some high mileage vehicles and I do have some oil consumption, and I don't know how horrible the inside of the engine is, but I'm actually going to switch and try this in my Sequoia, which is 300,000, and my Ford, that's like 200 and some thousand. And I just want to see if the oil consumption changes. So what they said with this oil is that within 4,000 miles, and they've pulled dirty pistons out, that the oil control ring was clean. In prior tests, it wasn't with their different blends of oil. So they were on to something. And to have Total Seal piston ring be involved in this product and promoting it and talking about it, and yeah, that's big. So I'm going to say right now, based on what I'm seeing here from this stuff, this is an instant must shift for the customer. I mean, wow, this is pretty intense information and products without having to do, motor flushes and risk, the customer doing it and having bigger problems. Now, professionals doing it, different story. We're gonna do it based upon our experience, and some technicians I know, if the engine sludge, they won't even work on the inside of it. They're like, we're not touching it. It needs mechanical work, and they're not going to go in there and do time and chains. They're not going to do guides or a tensioner or cam follower. Like, yeah, we don't want to be bothered. You have sludge problems already, So But yeah, I was pretty impressed with this product. I do believe the Motor Oil Geek is legit. I mean, this guy tests and tests and tests and total seal tests. Um, but I think he was blown away when he went to the Valvoline test facility for their oils, and they test other oils for other people too. And this is big time. And I didn't know that Valvoline was the only one who tests their products in their own facility, which is ridiculous. I mean, I hear more and more today that people have eliminated the testing part of their products. So they do minimal tests, right? Minimal tests. They don't do longevity tests. And if they actually did, if they were testing for longevity, then they already know the information on why so many products fail, and they don't care. And I'll give you, for instance, I used a step down buck converter yesterday on my car. I ordered 2. I was under amped on the one, so it was 12 volts, 6 amps. And then after me reading the specs on a product that I'm using in my car, this was the Peltier module, 4 chips with 4 fans. Its minimum rating was a 15 amp, so I ordered 2 of them just to have a backup. And then I went to put one in, which I ordered from an electronic place, and I'm very disappointed. Take the old one out, put it back in, turn it on, doesn't work. Power in, grounds are good, no power coming out. Ordered the same product from a different vendor, I don't know where it came from. Took it out, put it in, wired it the same exact way, turned it on, it worked. So do you think that one place tested that product? No. It comes in boxes and they send them out the door because they're not testing every product. We wouldn't have so many software issues and bugs and things in vehicles. But that's a whole nother conversation. A lot of places, a lot of industries have eliminated the testing process of the products you consume and use because they don't care that it fails. They want it to fail more. They only want it to last as long as the warranty period, and then have you consume that product or another product again. But yeah, someone else out there, let me know if they've used this Valvoline oil, Restore and Protect. What was your results? Good experience. I'm going to test it myself.
100% of piston deposits.
I'm pretty impressed with what their claims are. And if this dude's endorsing this, you know that this guy's good. Thanks for watching.